Hi, I'm Nia-Sage. Welcome to podcast The Algorithm Hates Me. And today we are embarking on a beautiful journey incorporating all the community and getting your voice heard. So today's episode, our first ever episode, is why do we love a good situationship more than an actual relationship? All right. Listen up. Today, we're talking about a modern day love story. No labels, no commitment, just vibes and a slow burning emotional crisis. I'm talking about situationships. The chaotic, undefined. We're not dating, but we also don't talk to other people. Relationships that keep our hearts confused and our therapist paid. Today, I am going to dive into the unhinged. Please leave your comments and don't forget to like and subscribe. So today, we are breaking it down. If it's a mystery, is it self-sabotage, or are we just addicted to pain? So let's be real. Half of us here are in situationships right now. Some of us are in multiple, running a full-time job and a side hustle of heartbreak on the weekends. But here's the thing, situationships feel exciting because they're undefined. It's like the Schrödinger relationship. We're together, but also not. And that uncertainty, that's what keeps us hooked. It's not boring. Unlike a real relationship where you already know they love you, a situationship keeps you on your toes. The highs are highs. And when they text back, when they act cute in public but still won't claim you, you get that little surge of dopamine. You get all the romance without the responsibility. You can emotionally ruin each other, but still technically say, we were never official. It's like playing with fire, except the fire is texting you, what are you doing at 2 a.m. and pretending you don't care. I think we've reached Delulu. I think that we've reached Delulu. Let's talk about the Delulu, right? It all starts so small. Oh, we don't need labels, we're just vibing. Then suddenly you're memorizing their birth chart, building a future in your head based on one cute text. I mean, I'm known for fantasizing people, fantasizing relationships more than they were. And through the growth, being self-aware, I've been able to kind of break that cycle. But these things is things that we go through every single day. Before you know it, you're defending them in the group chat, like you're on trial, and your girls are like, no, this guy's this and you guy's this, and you're just like, no, he's this, he's so good to me, he treats me so well, I know there's something really special. But let's be honest, situationships lets us live in the fantasy. You don't have to deal with the realities of a relationship, like emotional accountability or talking about the future. Instead, you get to be a little delulu and romanticize crumbs. You're just kind of picking up little bits of crumbs. I think the other day a friend he just sent me a meme. He just, he's obviously into me, he obviously likes me, he's liking all my stories, he obviously likes me. Or the guy was like, oh yeah, she looked across the room and she smiled, We're just like, I know we're meant to be together. I mean, that was back in the day, but these things still happen and people still go through it, and then we make excuses when we go through things like he doesn't message for like 3 days and you're like, no, but he's just busy, I think you just need to give him a little time. Sis, babes, he's not busy. He's out, he's free roaming, and living life. And you've written your whole love story about him. So the key question is, why do we actually do this to ourselves? And at this point, we have to ask, why do we do this to ourselves? Why do we choose chaos over clarity? So, one of the things that came to mind was commitment issues disguised as going with the flow. So, if you don't define it, you don't have to be accountable for it. You can walk away at any moment and say, it wasn't even a real relationship. Let's go for the second. Had a conversation, a couple of days ago, about the fear of rejection. If you never ask for commitment, you never get rejected, right? So maybe those are one of the reasons why we do this to ourselves. If you never ask for commitment, you never get rejected. It's the emotional equivalent of leaving a test blank instead of risking a wrong answer. It's easier that way, right? Maybe it's because we think it's more fun. A real relationship with communication and stability? Like, ew, who wants that, right? We romanticize the struggle. We're watching these rom-coms, we're comparing. When in reality, we're just self-inflicting emotional damage. That is something to think about. And even as I sit here and I speak with you guys, unhinged, unfiltered, I'm not hiding things that I've gone through and my experience, and as a sex therapist with my clients. So let's get a reality check, right? So what is the reality check? How do we escape? How do we escape from this? And I've been giving you guys nothing but fact and truth. This is the hard truth. The hard truth is situationships only feel exciting because they're unstable. But you know what's actually sexy? Being chosen, having clarity, knowing where you stand. So if you're in a relationship, or a situationship, right now, I have one question for you. Are you actually happy? Or are you just addicted to the uncertainty? If it's the second one, maybe it's time to stop accepting half-assed commitment and start demanding full-ass love. And sometimes we don't allow ourselves that opportunity because we're scared or apprehensive, should I say, of the other person's reaction. Because you're like, yeah, I want to demand this full love. But the thing is that you have to be also prepared to accept that person that you are wanting this full ass love from might not be willing to give it. But if you're doing that for yourself, then you have to be accepting that it could come from somewhere else. And before we do the closing thought, I have a little game that I decided that I was going to interject into this podcast. I hope you like it. It's literally just a short mini fact game. And this mini fact game is called Red Flag or Fun Fact. Chaos trivia is my thing. So I'm gonna read these. I just have the facts, and I'm gonna see if it's true or not, and then we'll get the answers. Fact: studies show couples who roast each other have stronger relationships. I think that, I don't know if you guys remember the suspect challenge on TikTok, right? A lot of couples broke up because of that. And I mean that it just was raw. And some of it was funny, but I think that if your relationship is volatile, I don't think you should participate in that. I think there is a lot of couples that wanted to get things off their chest and almost seemed like they kind of hated each other. So, is this emotional health, or is it just bullying with extra steps? Who knows? Okay, fact. The average person has 7 failed relationships before finding the one. Okay, so how do you know when to power forward or just give up now and be like, okay, we was never meant to be together? These facts are really good, okay? Fact number 3. If your crush mirrors your body language, they're probably into you. And this is fact. This is definitely fact. I know this when I studied forensic psychology. We learned about body language, and I remember this coming up, and I kind of blushed a little bit because I found myself doing that at uni. So, I mean, they could be a super spy. Who knows? Fact 4. Over 50% of people have checked an ex's social media in the past month. I mean, are you guilty or nah? I am one of those 50% of people. I am unashamed of putting my hands up and saying 50% of people, yep, I'm a part of that. Guilty. And last fact, people with pets in their dating profile get 50% more matches. And you know what, guys, I had a dog. Someone in the house was allergic to it, so we wasn't able to keep it, but I had him for like 6 months. And you know that when I had this such a gorgeous doggy, I would meet like the most random of people just coming up to me like, I like your dog, it gets so much attention. I got pictures, and then I got, everyone's always a dog person, right? So yeah, thank you for that fact mini game. Let's see how much you got. Did that shock you? Was that something that was, you'd have never thought about? Well, now we know. So we're doing a closing thought, okay? So today's episode, if you're currently in a situationship and just realized you hate it, don't worry, I'm right here with you. But listen, next time someone tells you they don't do labels, tell them, cool, I don't do emotional purgatory. And if you're still choosing chaos, at least let's make it entertaining. If you like today's episode, subscribe, leave a review, and tell me your worst situationship story in the comments. Let's trauma bond. Until next time, remember the algorithm hates us, but at least our delusions love us. Mwah.